Most people get this wrong when trying to start a company in Brazil. They assume it is just paperwork and a quick registration. But here's the truth no one tells you. Brazil is one of the most structured, but also one of the most bureaucratic business environments in the world. If you skip even one legal step, your company can get delayed for months or rejected completely. And here is the biggest mistake you need to avoid. People rush into registration without understanding the business structure, tax regime, and local compliance system. That one mistake alone can cost thousands of dollars in penalties later. Now, in this video, I will show you exactly how to start a company in Brazil step by step in 2026. You will learn the full legal process, the company types, taxes, required documents, costs, and the exact order you need to follow so you do not get stuck. And stay until the end, because I will also show you the simplest way foreigners are legally opening companies in Brazil without living there full time. That part alone can save you months of confusion. Let's start from the beginning. If you want to start a company in Brazil, the first thing you need to understand is that Brazil is highly formalized. Almost every business activity is linked to a national tax ID called the CNPJ. Without this number, your business does not legally exist in the system. But before you even reach the CNPJ stage, you need to make a decision that most beginners ignore. That is choosing the right legal structure. In Brazil, the most common business structures are MEI, LTDA, and SADI. MEI is for micro-entrepreneur. SADI. It is extremely simple but very limited. It is only for individuals with small turnover and very restricted activities. Think of someone like a freelance designer named Alex who wants to invoice local clients without a complex setup. That is MEI. But here's the problem. Many foreigners and new entrepreneurs try to force themselves into MEI because it looks easy. Then they hit limitations almost immediately. Revenue caps, hiring restrictions, and activity restrictions make it unsuitable for serious business. Now the most common structure for startups and small to medium companies is LTDA, which is similar to a limited liability company. This is what most entrepreneurs choose. It allows partners, flexible ownership, and scalable operations. Then there is SA, which is a corporation structure. This is used by large companies, investors, and businesses planning to go public or raise significant capital. Now here's where it gets interesting. Your structure will affect everything else. Taxes, bank accounts, investor access, and even how fast you can register your company. So the first real step is simple. Decide your structure based on your business size, not convenience. Now once you choose your structure, the next step is defining your business activity. In Brazil, every company must register its activity under a classification system called CNE.ia. This is important because it tells the government exactly what your company does. For example, if John wants to open a software company, he must select the correct CNE for software development, or its services. But here's the problem. If you choose the wrong CNE, you might pay higher taxes or even face rejection during registration. That is why many entrepreneurs work with an accountant at this stage. And this brings us to a very important point. In Brazil, accountants are not optional. They are legally required for almost every registered company, except some micro cases. So you should think of an accountant as part of your business foundation, not an extra expense. Now let's move to the next step, which is company name registration. Before you can register your company officially, you must check if your business name is available in the state commercial registry, called Junta Commercial. This is where all companies are registered at the state level. Imagine a person named Jake who wants to open a marketing agency called Brightwave. He must first check if Brightwave already exists in that state. If it does, he must modify the name or choose another. Now here's where it gets interesting. Even if your name is available in one state, it might be blocked in another depending on your expansion plans. So smart entrepreneurs think long-term here. Once your name is approved, you move to the company contract stage. This is called the Articles of Association for LTDA companies. It is a legal document that defines ownership, responsibilities, capital distribution, and business rules. This document is extremely important because it becomes your company's legal backbone. Most beginners underestimate this step. They treat it like a formality. But the truth is, if your company contract is poorly written, you can face disputes, tax issues, or even legal blocking later. So take this seriously. Now, after preparing your company contract, the next step is registering at the Junta Comercial. This is where your company officially enters the state system. Once approved, your company becomes legally recognized at the state level. But we are not done yet. This is where many people think the process is finished. But actually, we are only halfway. Now comes one of the most important steps. Getting your CNPJ. The CNPJ is your National Business Tax Identification Number. This is issued by the Federal Revenue Service of Brazil. Without it, you cannot invoice clients, open a bank account, or legally operate. The good news is that once your documents are properly registered with the Junta Comercial, the CNPJ process is usually automatic or semi-automatic depending on your state. But here's the problem. Many applications get delayed because of inconsistencies between documents. Even a small mismatch in address or partner information can slow everything down. So accuracy matters more than speed here. Once you receive your CNPJ, your company officially exists at the federal level. But there is still one more critical step before you can start operating fully. And this is where things get really important. You must choose your tax regime. In Brazil, companies generally fall under 3 tax systems: Simples Nacional, Lucro Presumido, and Lucro Real. Simples Nacional is the most popular for small and medium businesses. It simplifies taxes into a single payment system. It is designed for simplicity and lower administrative burden. Lucro Presumido is based on estimated profit. It is more complex, but can be beneficial for certain types of businesses with stable margins. Lucro Real is the most complex system. It is based on actual profits, and is usually required for large companies or specific industries. Now here's where it gets interesting. Choosing the wrong tax regime can cost you significantly more money every month. This is why accountants play such a crucial role in Brazil. For example, a business like Alex e-commerce store might benefit greatly from Simples Nacional at the beginning. But as revenue grows, switching strategies may be necessary. So this is not a one-time decision. It is a strategic business choice. Now let's talk about banking. Once your CNPJ is active and your tax system is defined, the next step is opening a business bank account. Brazilian banks are strict about documentation. You will need your CNPJ, company contract, identification documents, and sometimes proof of address. Banks like Banco do Brasil, Itaú, Bradesco, and Nubank Business are commonly used. But here's the problem. Foreign entrepreneurs often struggle here if their documentation is incomplete or if their company structure is not clear. That is why having a local representative or accountant helps a lot. Now let's address a very important question. Can foreigners start a company in Brazil? Yes, they can. But there are conditions. Foreigners can own companies in Brazil, but in many cases, they need a legal representative who is a resident in Brazil. This representative handles legal and tax communications. For example, if John from the US wants to open a tech company in Brazil, he may need a Brazilian legal representative to complete certain registrations. However, Brazil is becoming more open to foreign investment, especially in technology and service sectors. So the process is becoming more accessible every year. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Location matters in Brazil. Different states have different registration speeds, tax incentives, and bureaucracy levels. For example, São Paulo is highly business-friendly, but more complex due to volume. Other states may offer incentives but slower processing. So choosing where to register your company is a strategic decision, not just a geographic one. Now, let's talk about costs. Starting a company in Brazil is not extremely expensive compared to Western countries, but it is not free either. You will have government fees, notary fees, accountant fees, and possible legal consultation costs. On average, initial setup can range depending on complexity, but ongoing monthly accounting is mandatory. And here's the key insight. Most of your cost is not in registration. It is in compliance. Taxes, accounting, and reporting are ongoing responsibilities. Now let's go through a simple mental model of the entire process so it sticks clearly. First, choose your business structure. Second, define your business activity. Third, Prepare your legal documents. 4th, register at the state level. 5th, obtain your CNPJ. 6th, choose your tax regime. 7th, open your bank account. And 8th, start operating legally. That is the full cycle. Now let's talk about common mistakes. The biggest mistake is trying to do everything alone without an accountant. Another mistake is choosing the wrong structure or tax system too early. And another major mistake is ignoring compliance after registration. Many businesses in Brazil do not fail at creation. They fail at maintenance. So consistency is more important than setup. Now here's the final insight that most guides do not tell you. Brazil rewards structured businesses. If you follow the system properly, you can operate very smoothly. But if you try to bypass steps or rush the process, the system becomes very slow and frustrating. So the mindset you need is simple. Follow the process step by step, not fast, but correctly. Now let's summarize everything clearly. To start a company in Brazil, you must choose your structure, define your business activity, prepare legal documents, register with the State Commercial Board, obtain your CNPJ, select your tax regime, open a bank account, and maintain compliance through accounting and reporting. If you follow these steps in order, you can legally start and operate a business in Brazil without unnecessary delays or penalties. And here is the benefit. Once your company is properly set up, you gain access to one of the largest consumer markets in Latin America with strong growth potential in many sectors. So take this seriously, follow each step carefully, and treat compliance as part of your business strategy. If you found this guide helpful, like the video, drop a comment with your questions, and subscribe for more detailed business setup guides like this. It really helps the channel and helps you stay updated with global business systems.